Hello crafters, welcome back to Crochet by Starlight. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I'm Michelle, Crochet by Starlight, and today we are going to be doing a cute water slide snow globe tumbler. So the snow globe tumbler has the glitter inside the double wall layer of the tumbler, and we're going to do a water slide picture on top, and we're going to seal it all with some Crystallac, some Brite Tone. Go ahead and watch this video, like what you see, and you haven't already done so, please subscribe, hit that bell button to be notified when new videos are available, and give me a thumbs up. So that will really help me get seen by more people. So what are we going to do today? Today we are going to be working with Waterslide. We are going to be making a snow globe tumbler, and we are going to be using Brite Tone. So if you're not sure what any of those things are, the snow globe tumbler is this little guy here with the glitter. It's a double wall tumbler that we're going to drill a hole in on the bottom. We're going to stuff it with some glitter and some liquid, and I'll explain that all later when we get into the video. And it's going to be like a snow globe. You shake it up and the glitter goes around. The water slide is how we're going to apply the cute little image. These other images are stickers, but for today's tutorial we're just going to do a cute water slide with, I have an image here. You can zhuzh it up if you want to use vinyl, more stickers, etc. But that's what we're going to do. And for the topper, instead of doing a epoxy or resin, we are going to use Brite Tone. It's non-toxic, so it's safe to use indoors. I don't have the best ventilated space here, and I don't want to cause any injury or harm to my family or my pets. Okay, so what are you gonna need? First of all, you're going to need a tumbler. This is a 24-ounce double-walled tumbler that I got in a 4-pack off of Amazon. I will have it in the description below, the link for that purchase. You're going to need a water slide design, and I will show you how I made this design. You will need some glitter for your snow globe, and I'm using these 3 glitters that I purchased from Michael's. I have a little measuring cup here. You will need some Brite Tone, or if you're going to use epoxy or resin. I have some vegetable glycerin. It's Raw Plus Rare. I got this off of Amazon. It's vegetable glycerin, and this is what we're going to mix with our water. And the water that I'm using is some Kroger water, and it's distilled water, and we're going to put that in there with that glycerin, that vegetable glycerin, and that's what's going to make the liquid for our snow globe. I have a squeeze bottle, and that's what we're going to use to get our liquid into our snow globe tumbler. I think I already showed you the Brite Tone. I have a popsicle stick for stirring, and I have this little magic wand. It is a hot fix applicator, but this is what we're going to use to basically make our hole in the bottom of our tumbler. And I also have a little bit of water here for our water slide. But before I get into the water slide, I want to do the snow globe portion. So this is my first time using this applicator, so wish me luck. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to basically create a hole in your tumbler. And this tumbler that I'm using has kind of an outer rim, and then it has like this little indented lip right in here. So I'm going to put a hole in this little lip. There's a little bar here, like a little plastic nub. So I'm just going to put it on the other side of the plastic nub. And I have my tool. It's hot. So we're just going to go ahead and see if we can get this to work. It's my first time using this applicator. I usually just use a drill and a drill bit, but I heard that this was easier, and I'm always so scared of puncturing the too deep into my tumbler, but we'll find out if I can do this. So all I'm doing is pressing down. Like I said, it's a hot tip, so it is basically melting the plastic And I'll show you there. If you can see that. That is the hole that we are creating. And so I'm just going to continue pressing down. All right, so now I'm gonna pull this out. And it's just like a nice plastic plug at this point. Just gonna plug it out. There we go. All right, so I have my hole. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my applicator off. And it has this handy dandy little cradle that it sits in. So now I have the hole on the bottom of my cup. And that's the hole that we're going to use to fill with our solution and our glitter. I'm going to grab some blue painter's tape. And I'm going to put tape around the rim of where I have the hole, and that's just going to help my glitter to kind of stay focused where it's at. So these are new glitters. I'm going to open them up. What I have is a couple shades of purple glitter. I have these purple specks, just octagonal shapes. I have these pretty flower shapes, and then I'm going to use this pretty white. It has little beads in there, and it's like an iridescent, pearlescent white. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with that. I'm just going to dump some right on the top here, and then I'm just going to give it a shake. See if those will fall in, and they are. Okay. Just get those all in there. Now, people do use funnels. I've tried using a funnel. It doesn't always work well for me. I do plan on trying again with some smaller funnels. The one I had is a silicone funnel, so it didn't really do the job, but I don't have a funnel right now to work with. So we're just going to do this way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some of my purple just right on top. Kind of tap the sides, get it all in there. I'm just going to kind of layer it. It'll, to me at least, it makes me feel like I'm mixing it a little better. Okay, then we're going to put our pretty flower-shaped glitter in there. Just tap it, tap, tap, tap. Okay, so you basically get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and finish filling this to my satisfaction off camera rather than make you sit here and watch me tap and fill the glitter for the next little bit. So I'll be back when I have it to a level that I want to start with. So I have, all right. So then take our cup or our tumbler, and then we're just going to pour a little in, try not to overflow. Slowly filling. And keep it tilted so that you can get that flow going. And I'm not going to fill this all the way up. I'm going to do it to about right there. And I'm just going to try to get my glitters check our glitters again. And I'm putting my hand over, or my finger over this opening here so I don't spew any of it out. Just giving it a nice shake, trying to get some of the glitter from being stuck around the top here. We don't want any clumps and lumps. But it actually does not look to be too bad, too clumpy or lumpy. It actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to fill it up some more. So far. Not too bad. It looks really good. I'm just gonna continue shaking it, working the glitters all the way around. I like the way it's not just a quick drop and dump, which means once I got it filled up, or filled up I should say, it won't separate so quickly. It'll separate nicely at a nice rate. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more. And this little bottle is like the perfect size. It's an 8-ounce size bottle. Again, from Amazon. Whoops. There we go. And as we're getting to the top, I'm just going to try to make sure I fill it with as much liquid as I possibly can. My goal is to fill this up completely, which is not as possible as one would think. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let mine sit here for a little bit and just make sure that if there's any air pockets in there, that it has a chance to kind of aerate. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go have some dinner because you can hear it cooking in the background. And then when I come back, I will add a little bit more to kind of top it off, if you will. And then we can apply our water slide. All right, so it's been a couple hours, and I think I have about as much solution as I'm gonna get inside of this tumbler. And I've got a paper towel here with some rubbing alcohol, and I'm just cleaning off the top of my tumbler so that I can seal this opening. And what I have to seal are these Gorilla Glue adhesive dots. They come in a package like that, and they come on a sheet. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it's a sheet of dots. There we go. So what I do is grab one, and I'm just going to place it right over the hole. Right over the hole. I'm going to kind of push it down, and I'm going to then just rip the paper off. The faster you rip it off, the better. It's like a band-aid. And then I'm just gonna kind of with my finger smooth it out just a little bit. And it doesn't have to be all that pretty because we're gonna cover it up with our resin. We will use a little bit of resin for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another dot, do the same thing, and I'm gonna put about 3, maybe 4, just to make sure that it's nicely sealed. We don't want this to come up later. And I'm not putting it necessarily right on top of the other one. I'm kind of spreading the wealth, if you will. So I'm putting it just a little off. There we go. All right, now I'll probably put 1 or 2 extra because that was a little bit bigger hole. So you can see that. And with these, you don't really need to let them dry because we're going to seal it with resin. So I'm going to put, I think, 1 more on this side. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab my UV resin. I'm going to grab a coordinating glitter. Go. Whoops, wrong one. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of this glitter into this little cup here. Doesn't have to be a lot. A little bit more. Doesn't have to be a lot. We're just going to use this with a little bit of UV resin. God bless you. With a little bit of UV resin. Pour it into our little cup here. Lid back on it. You can see it's not a whole lot. Stir it up. Give it a good mix. Okay, and we're going to pour this resin with our glitter right on top. And this is going to do a seal for us. So I'm just going to spread this resin out. You don't need a whole terribly large amount. You just want to make sure that you get this evenly spread out, that you're getting that seal covered. Okay, so that looks pretty good for the first layer. We will do a second layer on top of this. But that's pretty good for now. So now I'm going to hit it with my UV lamp. And we're going to try to cure this. You can also stick this outside in some sunlight, let it cure that way with some natural UV rays from the sun. Working with UV resin is quick and easy. The only bad thing is it does have fumes, it does give off an odor. So you want to make sure that you have you're working in a well-ventilated room. You have some fans blowing, a window open, etc. Which is another reason why I don't really like working with this all that much, because I don't really have the best of workspaces for the ventilation that's required. So we're going to go and pour the rest of our UV resin on top. And you know, we want to make sure that we're not going too far over the side so that the cup doesn't sit flat. There's that little lip, this little edge with the little lip, so we want to make sure that we're not making a big bump, that we're not building it this way, so that when it's all said and done, your cup sits flat. Just lifting it up so I can see where I need to add more resin. We're going to go ahead and cure that. All right, crafters, so my bottom is sealed. I did go over it with a layer of just clear UV resin. So it's nice, sealed, it's flat. My table is not, but my cup is. And now we are ready for the water slide. So I've already cut mine out. This is the design that I'm going to go ahead and place onto my cup. And to do that, this is the fun part. I actually really dig this part. So grab your water slide. Okay, so I have just a container with water, plain nice, just water from my faucet, and I have my water slide. It's been sealed, and I'm gonna stick it in the water. Now I will hold mine because I don't like it curling, so I will hold it just for a minute or two, or a second or two I should say, until it can be left of its own accord without wanting to curl up on itself. And you're just going to let it sit in this water for 30-45 seconds to a minute, and it's like magic. So then when it's ready, you'll be able to slide the image right off. So I can test it. It's not ready. Okay, so there we go. It's starting to slippity slide away from that paper backing. So that tells you that we are ready to go ahead, and I forgot to prep my cup. So what you want to do is you want to wet your cup where you're going to put your water slide in, because for me, I don't have any other design on here right now. It doesn't really matter where it goes. So I'm going to grab my water slide. I'm going to place it right on here, and I'm just going to literally slide the paper backing, kind of hold on to it, slide that paper backing right on out, smooth my design. Okay, and then we're going to get all that water out. And that's all there is to water slide. Make sure that it's nice and centered, straight, and that's how it looks. Now we got to let this dry. I would let it dry overnight, and I'll work on the rest tomorrow. It's time to work on our lid. So what I've done is I've taken a dowel rod that has a little silicone piece in it, something like this, and I've just wrapped it in painter's tape so that it will fit snugly in my cup here, like so. And then I have a nice little handle so that I can work with it. Just going to place it in my rack, and I'm going to actually use UV resin. So I'm going to put my gloves on, and this lid has this little groove here. So I'm going to first use just some clear UV resin in that little groove, just so I can make a flat surface to apply my glitter to. So we're going to go ahead and just pour a line all the way around in that little divot, if you will. Go ahead and use my tool here to make sure that all the edges are done. Okay, that looks good. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat, it just needs to fill in that little gap. And then I'm going to turn my lamp on and let that cure. Okay, then in my little cup, I'm going to pour some of my UV resin. I'm not going to do a whole lot. And I'm going to sprinkle it with some of the glitter that I used in the tumbler. Not a lot either, just because these are chunky, and I don't even know how it's going to work with all this chunky glitter. I might need to put more resin in there. I'm going to grab a popsicle stick. Alright, so then let's stir it up. Oh yeah, I'm going to need some more resin. All right, so here I am at my turner. I've got my mug with the Waterslide all dried out. It's been a couple days. I haven't had a chance to come and do anything with this, so I have it attached to my turner. And before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and get a sticker for the bottom. So I made these stickers with my Cricut last night, and we're going to stick it onto the bottom of our mug. So there we have it. Take my mug off the turner. We're just going to put it right here in the middle. There you go. So now my mug is labeled. And so this is my first time using this, so wish me luck. I'm going to go ahead and turn our turner on. I have my Brite Tone in a nice bottle here, a condiment bottle, and we're just going to start and just get some on, and then just smooth it out as we go. Now you want to do thin coats. So this is my first coat. We're going to probably end up doing 6 at minimum coats, and these coats, you do 1 coat, you let it spin for an hour, and then you let it dry for 4 more hours, or for 3 more hours, for a total of 4 hours, and then you do it again. You apply another coat, let it spin for an hour, and then let it dry for 3 more hours, and then you apply a 3rd coat. And then after your 3rd coat, you let it spin, you let it dry, and then if you want to go ahead and sand it, don't forget your bottom. If you want to go ahead and sand it, and then repeat. So just making sure that it's nice and evenly applied. And that seems pretty good to me. Alright, so there you have it. First layer is on and she's doing her thing. So while I have that, I've prepared my top here, my lid. And we're going to stick it on my turner here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the Brite Tone on that one, so let's turn it on. Oops, wrong one. There we go, it's on. And I'm going to do my first little coat here. Let gravity do her thing for a minute. There we go. Don't forget the front of the lid, that's very important. Get some going there. And that feels pretty thoroughly applied to all of this portion of the lid. Maybe one little section right there. So I'm just going to let that spin. And work on another project. Okay, crafters, the cup is done. I put about 4 layers of Crystallac. I didn't need to sand the mug. I have my label there, or the tumbler. I didn't need to sand the tumbler, but it's done. And this is what the lid looks like. Came out so pretty and sparkly. And there you go. So first time using Crystallac, and I think I'm in love. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you would like to, go ahead and select that subscribe button. Smash that button. Click that bell notification to be notified when new videos are uploaded. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you did. Let me know if you had any problems or questions.